Hello, everyone. It is Pat Licata, Licata Live on this Tuesday. And today we are going to be talking about listings. This is part of our Licata group, Real Talk Real Estate. And I want to really talk about the components of a listing. To some people who've never sold before, they really have no idea. And even to those people who have sold, even recently, the market changes can dictate some differences in the way a listing is approached. So we're going to start with the fact that, in my view and in our Licata group view, there are really four components of a listing. Now, a listing can span either a very short period of time to closing or a longer period of time, depending upon the market conditions. But generally speaking, there are four components. The first, of course, is the condition of your home. That will matter because of many reasons, but the first thing when you think about it, almost everyone begins their search for real estate online. So your online presence and how you put your best foot forward online when someone sees it is actually your first showing. So you want your home to look the best that it possibly can. So when you're preparing yourself for listing your home, most likely your realtor will tell you to take everything off the kitchen counters and vanities. And the reason for that is almost everyone believes that you never can have enough counter space. So by removing everything, you see how much counter space there really is. Then when your property is being shown, you know, the most important things that you use every day, we would suggest that you can leave out. But again, those things that you rarely use, keep them put away. The condition of your home also includes how updated it is. It includes the age of your HVAC, the age of your roof, the age of your hot water heater, because those are the most expensive systems of your home. So that's also part of condition. Additionally, part of condition is what you've done to prepare your home in terms of curb appeal, in terms of removing any, I would say it's really important to remove any collections that you have, because one of two things can happen. People either love your collection and they spend more time focused on that than they do really looking at the bones of your house, or they don't like what you've collected and it turns them off completely. The other thing that you're going to want to do is absolutely please remove personal photos. The reason for that is you want people viewing your home to feel like it's theirs. If they're seeing photos of you everywhere, it kind of lessens that feeling. Also, people can start wondering about you. Oh, I wonder if that's a seller, or is that their daughter or their grandchild? You don't really want any of that. We want people to be focused on the architecture and bones and features of your home. So the second component of a listing is going to be price. Price is often a condition, is often based on condition partially, as well as market conditions. In addition to that, it's the market conditions will dictate what your competition is on the market for. What your competition is much more important than what homes sold for in the past, even if it was the recent past, because we don't necessarily know what the motivation was behind that sale. You may have had two people who, for very different reasons, wanted that specific home, who had enough money that it didn't matter how much they paid for it. Conversely, you may be in a position where, your home is priced higher than other homes that are very similar, and therefore you're not even going to get views. Or if you get views, you're not going to get an offer. And that really lets us know that the market is telling us that you're priced incorrectly. So I want to step back for a minute here and say that of the 4 components, which are condition, price, accessibility, and exposure, of those 4, you as a seller are in control of 3 of those. So we've talked about condition, of which you're in control. Price, listing with a seller is truly a relationship. Now, granted, you don't want that relationship to last for a really long time, because the goal for most people is to get their home sold in a shorter amount of time. But it's a pretty intense relationship. But again, hopefully you will feel confident in your realtor, that you will listen to the pricing advice that they give you. But the reality is you are in control of the price. Then the 3rd component is going to be accessibility. Again, you're in control of that. How accessible is your home to view? So what we would advise you to do is not deny any showings unless it's absolutely necessary, because you never know if that one buyer that you deny is the one who would have fallen in love with your house. They may be only in town for the day. I mean, we just don't know. So we do everything we can not to deny or decline showings. If it's required for you to decline it, please propose another time that would work for you, and hopefully that will also work for that buyer. It's difficult, but let me back up a second. The normal showing time is usually from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. If you work nights and are a day sleeper, it's going to be more difficult for you, because your access is either going to be you being inconvenienced by not being able to sleep during the day if you have showings, or it's difficult because you're not allowing showings when many people are looking. So that's a tough situation, and something that you should absolutely bring up to your agent early in the process, so that you can try to come up with a workaround. And then the last component is the exposure. And that's truly the only component that your agent or your listing agent is responsible for. It's how many qualified buyer pool participants are out there that see your home. So what does that mean? Most people who really aren't that aware will think that agents just put your listing in the MLS and hope that it sells. That may be the case for some agents, certainly isn't the case for us. We have databases that we contact. We have of other agents, databases of our past clients, databases of our friends and family and community members. There are Facebook groups. There are paid ads, Google, Facebook. There are so many different ways to get your home to receive the best exposure. And one of those also can very well be from open houses. So many people have the misconception that open houses don't work. And the reality is probably 97% of the time they don't. However, why not still tap into the 3% possibility that it could work? And that's what we do. I think we've done about 75 open houses so far this year on our team. And speaking of which, if you're in Lake of the Woods will be hosting a community open house. This is the first one since COVID, where we used to do in Lake of the Woods, one in the spring and one in the fall. So this is kind of getting us back into the swing of things. with the first fall community open house, which will be on October 14th. Again, if you have any questions about listings or selling your home or purchasing a home, you don't need to be one of our clients to ask, or a prospective client. If you have questions, please ask us. We're more than happy to help and hopefully help you reach your goals and make the best decisions for you, because no one else can do that for you. Thank you again for taking time with us on Licata Live today. Pat Licata, and see you next month. The rest of our team will be here every Tuesday at 11 o'clock. So Tuesday at 11 is our normal Licata Live, and that is where we go over a ton of different topics. Mine is related to selling and buying usually. Anyway, thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.